What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Grading the Market, part of Sweep the League TV network. He is Anthony Turk. I am Jacob Cancino. We are back from our week and a half break, much deserved. What's up, Anthony? How you doing, man?
Good, man. I'm out here
Where you
in
at?
crazy Las Vegas for a little convention.
There you go.
Um, one of the vendors. Um, if any of you guys have ever gone to a convention, right, and you're walking around and checking out what these vendors got, a lot of times they'll have swag for you. Usually it's like a pen or like a little squishy toy. One vendor, you had to become a customer.
Hmm.
They had graded cards.
Oh yeah. Did you
as
get
a
it?
as a give. No. I mean, you have to become a customer of theirs.
Oh,
But the owner of the company is a big. He's big into the hobby, so he had some Wayne Gretzky's PSA 10s, like a gold Jordan card that he had out there on display. That
that's
was
cool.
that was pretty cool.
That's cool. So what we got to get into tonight? MLB Spring Training started. That's pretty much in full swing. We'll go ahead and touch on that. While we're there with MLB, we'll go ahead and look into some of these tops. Talk about the Top Series One product just dropped maybe a couple of weeks ago. That should be fun. A little bit closer to home, we had a Wemby card that recently sold at auction for $860,000. Um, go ahead and I guess we could just reminisce about that. And then another Wemby jersey sold for 73 grand. We touched on that one in the before. It was the one where the kid did the little jersey swap and the father came into question and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, starting off with the MLB spring training, Anthony kicked off. MLB players are starting to trickle in, or I guess the trickling in has already been done and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
they're
Is any
playing already.
I
Yep.
know we're real early in the spring training, but has anything caught your eye so far?
Yeah, I mean, I can speak for the Yankees. It's busy at work, busy home life, but so it's hard to keep up with all the teams right now. Just focusing on the Yanks. Uh, they're hitting a lot of home runs. I saw Jason Dominguez lost the ball up in the sky, so that's concerning. Um, and since our focus is on cards, right? It's always like the moments that sort of make a guy's stock go up and down. So not saying that him losing the ball in the sky is impacting his, the value of his cards, but just something to look out for, right? A guy with that kind of hype shouldn't be making those kind of mistakes, but hey, he's human. Although his name is the Martian, he is human. We're all going to make mistakes. I'm willing to let it slide. Aside from that, you got some other guys in there. You finally got Ben Rice, a rookie card with a rookie shield. So that's cool. Last year, although he played in limited action, his first game was amazing. Um, uh, hit a few home runs. So to have a card now with Ben Rice with a rookie shield is pretty cool.
That's good. Yeah, for me, I follow the Padres and stuff like that, so it's really early in the season, still in the spring training. Um, I'm a little excited, as y'all can see. I've been just kind of looking at the schedule, looking up, seeing what's going to happen. And then we got the Dodgers coming in June. That's something we always circle. Y'all know why, but yeah, I like to PC. Tatis, Machado, the kid is going to be Merrill. As that would be nice to get one of his. But yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on right now. I was looking at the schedule actually earlier. I was amazed by how long like spring training is. They
Yeah.
actually like does like spring training, and then once like spring training is done, it goes to like okay the exhibition games or something. So then it's like a like a preseason or something, and then like the regular season kicks off, and I'm like, what's up with that? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
long.
yeah. These guys play a lot of ball, and that's why to me, not the I'm not trying to derail this conversation, talking about the juicing and the roids. Not my point here, but the baseball season is a long season, which is, a lot of folks, focus on um, the power that you get from roids because you're stronger. But in my opinion, it's just always been about the record and how sacred those numbers are, and specifically in baseball. So obviously, if a guy is doing something that regardless of how you see it, right, is something that not everybody else is doing, maybe potentially, regardless is considered cheating, and the rules are the rules. So really the impact of it is that it helps you recover. So obviously, the faster you recover, the more at bats you're getting, the more games you're playing, blah blah blah. So now you're impacting the sacredness of these records, and that's where that to me is where sort of it really, um, uh, where I sort of say, yeah, that it's wrong. But regardless, that's not what we're talking about. I just mentioned it because we're talking about how long the spring training is, and then the season itself is long. So these guys put in, and then the time of year these guys are playing. So it's just it's a long season for these guys.
Yeah, can you imagine if you go into the postseason? I mean, all the way to October. I
Yeah,
mean, like my goodness. And I think with the if you ever check out their schedules, they probably only get like a couple of days off throughout the
yeah,
a month or something like that.
yeah.
But hey, Anthony, sticking with MLB, Topps 2025 Series One drop. Have you done anything there?
I've got a few packs, man, and honestly, I can say that I'm underwhelmed. And maybe I'm underwhelmed just because I haven't done as much homework as I should
Uh,
have. But um,
hmm
um, who is it, right? It's almost like the NBA, right? And I'm not saying that the guys in the NBA aren't going to develop into super or mega stars, but it was kind of like that season where last draft season where everyone was like, "Who in the heck is coming out of the NBA draft?"
hmm
Um, and to me personally, it was sort of like that going into the start of the Major League Baseball season. Who are we looking for? And that guy Cruz that just came up on the screen, rookie wise. 'Cause last year we had, I mean, some guys that could potentially be mega stars on top of the world. You had Skeens, you had De La Cruz, um, Jackson Merrill, Churio. I mean, you had guys that everyone was just so excited about. And this year, there's a little bit of like elbow nudging, like, hey, who are we looking out for? So, um, regardless, it's always fun to rip. I just personally, I'm just a little underwhelmed. I haven't found anything that's really of value, or anyone that I'm really excited about. So the design I like. Um, the inserts are cool. There's a call to the hall insert that's pretty cool. I hit a pink Ricky Henderson, so that one's pretty special card. But I got a Tony Gwynn one variation that I believe is numbered to like 50/50,
Oh
maybe
yeah.
a little bit higher. But that's a pretty cool looking card. It's one of the 1990s inserts.
Okay.
But outside of that, I'm honestly, man, it's a little. I've found so far that it's been a bit underwhelming. Almost like they're pushing you to get like the bigger
Yeah.
hobby box or a jumbo box or something.
Yeah. I got myself a hobby box. I opened it up.
Oh
It was
yeah,
it was fun. it was pretty cool. It looks like it would be easy to go ahead and make like a base set from. As
Hmm.
far as like for my box, whether I ended up getting a relic card. I think it
Hmm.
was a Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Okay.
Bat card.
A game like game used
Yeah,
bat.
something like that.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. It wasn't that something throw up in the throw my hands up, running around,
Yeah.
screaming and stuff like that. But no,
Mhm.
it was definitely fun. Yeah, and I'm not even gonna try to go through all the kind of different type of inserts that they have. I mean, I went on the checklist like like a while back, maybe right
Mhm.
before I opened up the box, just
Yeah.
out of curiosity, and I was like, yeah, there's too many to even.
Yeah. They got like a spring training where like the guys, the league they're in, either the Cactus League or the Grapefruit League, and that kind of stuff. And you expect it. When you
Mhm.
first open it, it's funny, right? Because you open it and to me the first thought is, oh, that's a pretty cool looking card. But then you look at how many were made, right? And then obviously the more are made, the less valuable they are. But still, if
Yeah.
you see the card and it's a cool looking card, from your perspective, then it's a win.
Yep. 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 I agree. Hey, sticking with baseball, um, obviously MLB. We've been talking about it. It's right around the corner. But also, Anthony, you you have a strategy with the what is it? The call your shot, or what's the card that
So the home run challenge. I
the
just
home run challenge? I can never explain. I always call it the call your shot.
that to me that sounds cooler than home run challenge.
Yeah.
But
So, what kind of strategy do you use? Because you've won a couple of those, haven't you?
yeah, I won 11 of
You won 11.
them.
11. There you go. You have to share with us your strategy, man.
So um, so I mean, just like any other sport, it's about competition, right? So and in matchups and in baseball, again, it's all about the numbers,
Mhm.
and likelihood. So I take a look at a few things um, like obviously early in the season it's kind of harder to tell because pitchers will change things up, and so their launch angle might be a little bit different. So early in the season, it's not that easy to tell, right? So I try to wait till like later on in the season, um, and then what I do is I look at
Don't you like look
matchups.
up the stadiums and stuff like that?
So there's I think it's like a MLB Stat Muse. I probably butchered the URL for the website, but that website's got you can look up any player and look at all their long balls pretty much,
Hmm.
and it'll tell you the actual home runs at every stadium, and then how many balls would have been home runs at the other stadiums. So based on that number, you can take a look at it and say, oh man, like um, let's use Vladimir Guerrero for example, since you mentioned him earlier. You could take a look at, oh man, this dude like at Shea Stadium. I'm sorry, not Shea Stadium. I'm highlighting how old I am. City Field, right? Over there, he hits a lot of home runs to, left left field, right? And um, he's a righty, and you look at, and then you start looking at the pitcher. You start looking at a pitcher's launch angle. You start looking at a pitcher's um, how much,
And
how
this
many
is
of
all.
the,
This is all on that website.
yeah.
Okay.
You can take a look at how often a pitcher's pitch, um, how often there's contact on the ball.
I might start visiting that website for some parlays.
Yeah. So you start taking a look at those, and there's like little things that I take a look at to see. Um, I mean, obviously, how many home runs they've given up. Um, a big one is also opposite handness, pitcher versus batter, right? Because obviously, if you have opposite handness, the batter's going to have an advantage of how much time they're seeing. To us, your regular baseball fan, or someone watching the game, it's nothing to us. But for a guy that has seen millions of pitches throughout his career, that split second of them being able to see the ball coming over
Hmm.
means a lot. So
Baseball's
um,
hard.
yeah,
Yeah, there's that saying, baseball's hard.
yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
So yeah, I take a look at a lot of those. You or even on ESPN, and you probably stick to the same website and take a look. And but even ESPN, you can look and see, like, you can look at Ichiro's record versus Kershaw.
Hmm.
I mean, they're on the same team now, but you can see how he bats against him, how many home runs he's hit against him. So if you got a matchup coming up, then you want to start looking at how that batter is against that pitcher, and if it lines up, then and another little secret that um, I've noticed, and or seen people post in different places. These guys like to show off or show up on the weekends.
Oh,
So I
really?
like, yeah, so I like to stick to like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, unless there's like an obvious matchup, like on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or something, right
Hmm.
during the week. Then I'll put a guy in.
I gotcha. I gotcha. So what's the coolest card that you've had, home run challenge card that you've got that you think to you?
Um, Man, I wish I had them with me, but so they're all numbered. I believe that it's numbered based on how many people called it on that day,
Okay.
right? So if 3,492 people called a home run
And
for
that's how
for
many
Nemly
cards they made.
Tatis on that day, and that's how many cards a day for that month, right? Um, I think Adley Rushman is probably my lowest numbered one.
What's that
I
one?
think I think it's like numbered to like 99.
Oh man, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so that's probably the coolest one. I got Otani, I got Judge, I got Soto, Carroll.
That's right. You did get an Otani, right? Didn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been cool if it was like the one that was, when he hit, when he did 50 for 50.
Yeah.
That would have been sick, but
Yeah.
it wasn't that day.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, before we move on, everybody from MLB, we just want to let you know, because I know we're talking about, which is the coolest card, and Anthony and I have been working on behind the scenes, what's the best way to show y'all cards here. So that's going to be coming in the future. We're probably going to be doing some box rips as well, but that is just something that we are working on. So
Yeah.
more to come on that. All right, moving on to the NBA. Uh, so what's been going on with the Knicks, man? How are they doing? So I know you're a big Knicks fan. Before we move,
So they're like, I don't know what to call them. I'm sure there's a name for teams like this, or even individuals like this, but these guys are like really good against other really good teams, right? But you put them against you. It's almost, let's use the Friday analogy, right? Those guys are, they can beat up like you know another dude like on the block. But
hmm
once Debo comes, like, they're buckling. those guys, I don't think they've beat Boston. They haven't beat Boston, Cleveland, or Oklahoma City all year.
Oh yeah.
And it's not that they don't beat them. Like they're
I
getting
mean, but they're
hit.
still on the right track though, right? They're like right there.
I mean, they're on the track, but
What are they sitting at right now? Like what position? Are
they're in third place in the East,
There you go.
but there's a significant difference between the Knicks
Hmm.
and Boston and Cleveland,
Hmm.
just in the East. So I think Knicks fans are still excited. When you go through years and decades of of poor play and supporting a team that's just, at years don't even deserve to be on an NBA court, and then
Looking at
you
looking at you, Spurs fans.
get and then you get a team that's respectable, and you get a team that appears to be fundamentally sound. You get a team that has substance. You're excited and you root for them, and even if they get beat down by Boston, right, you're still like, hey, come on, guys, let's figure this out. So I
Hmm.
think I think we're there now. Like, hey, let's figure this out.
Hmm.
Uh, but there's definitely concern about, have we peaked, right?
Yeah,
Has this team gone as far as as it can go? Super competitive, but just not there to take it, to the next level yet.
that's cool, man. That's good. Yeah, over here in San Antonio, things aren't looking too good over here. They shut down Wemby. Don't even know if Pop's coming back. All of a sudden, Castle's not playing. So who knows what's going on? Don't even get me started on that. But hey, speaking of Wemby, man, just the other day, this is courtesy of Golden. Uh, at an auction, Wemby card,
No.
highest $860,000. It's a one of one Nebula. Um, man, I mean, we said it was going to get crazy, especially when he was going to show up in his Spurs unis, and I do believe that this Prism card was probably one of the first for of him ever coming out in his Spurs uniform, and then of obviously being a one of one. I remember one time Joshua and I were talking, Anthony, and this he shot me like a question. It kind of like threw me off, and I'm not hope it doesn't throw you off. And it was just your personal preference. But if you, let's say we hit the lotto, all right,
Hmm.
both of us, we got together, hit the lotto, okay, and we started collecting one of ones, all right. What would you want to see in a one of one? Like, we're not even talking about price. What would you be looking for? Like, I want the one of one because it has this. Because for example, when he asked me, I was like, well, if I'm going to be spending that kind of money, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go big or go home. So I was like, if I'm going to be getting a one of one, I want there, number one, I want there to be a patch or something. You know what I mean? I was like, I want it to be auto. And I was like, and I'm not talking about sticker auto. I'm talking about on card auto. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just stuff like that. We were just playing, going back and forth. What would you be looking for?
Yeah. So maybe we've gotten used to, what these cards look like, right? And their creativity, and some cards look like crap, and some cards look really awesome. Like to me, Kaboom is an awesome insert.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
um, but the fact that it's a one of one, to me, carries more weight than anything else. They can make this thing look like a Honus Wagner, just card, right? But the fact that it's Wemby, a generational talent, potential face of the league for years to come, um, then that one of one print is going to carry more weight than anything else.
Hmm.
Um, Now, if I'm going to spend money on it, because obviously there's more than one of one, Wemby cards, but
Mhm.
if I'm going to spend the money on it, and I had money to spend on a one of one card, um, yeah, maybe that wouldn't be the one. To me, it's not as good looking. Um, I mean, honestly, to me, it's not even like a picture, but to me, like that NBA hoops caricature card,
Mhm.
um, maybe with like either a hollow or pulsar waves. That to me is like a really cool set, a really cool looking card. So maybe something like that. Um, with some sort of kaboom maybe
Mhm.
insert. Um, but like that, it's a just a variation of a base. Yeah, it probably wouldn't. That probably wouldn't be on the top of the list. I guess I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, we all have our preferences,
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
that's why we
yeah,
always say, in the hobby, just do whatever, as long as you're happy. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Like they
so
say, beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
I'm telling you right now, if I could go ahead and drop $860,000 on a card, I'm pretty sure I'm already happy
Right?
in life. Just, you know what I mean? I'm, I'm just gonna go ahead, go out on a limb out there. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that that probably would be the case. But
Yeah, I'll probably call Spurs up and say, "Can I hang out with Wemby?"
how much does that cost? Like just me and my boy. How much is that? You know what I mean? I just want to dap it up with him a couple times. So you know what I mean? Or,
Yeah,
I'll just buy the jersey directly from him. How much is
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Hey, speaking of Wemby jerseys, man, I don't know if you saw, but in December there was a kid who did like a jersey swap with Wemby. He was sitting courtside apparently with his dad and made a poster. Wemby, after the end of the game, went over there, gave him the jersey, did the jersey swap, whatever, this and that. To me, it was foul. But that's, we could talk about that in a little bit if you want to.
Yeah, yeah,
But continue on with the story. About a week later, after that jersey swap, that jersey, I think it found its way on Golden Auction. You know what I mean? And like the starting bid was like $10,000 or something.
yeah,
I think even Wemby chimed in with like a crying emoji and stuff like that. But yeah, that jersey recently just sold for like $73,000, man.
yeah,
Um, yeah, to me, I just, if you go back and you look at the video, I mean, obviously it was staged. Like I'm pretty sure the father knew what he was doing. If you look at the poster boy, for crying out loud, that the kid has of Wemby, it's not something that a kid, you know, would be able to
with
like
me.
make. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the father was sitting at the dinner table or whatever, this and that, creating the poster or something. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
I
mhm.
mean, that's just what I think. You know what I mean? But yeah. How do you feel about that though?
I'm not gonna be honestly. Yes, it looks like face value. It looks it's cheesy. The dad kind of looks bad, right? But you see, there's worse things that a father has done to their kid, right? So yeah, if he's sort of look at how many parents use their kids to make money off of them making on YouTube channels like ripping toys open and things like that.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, the dad took his son to a game. Say, hey, um, we're gonna use your cuteness. We're gonna use your innocence, right? And
The kid doesn't even look like he knew what's going on, man. Honestly, it's like he's. If you get back, check the video out. He's just like holding. He's not even like holding the jersey, like cool. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like where he's showing it off. He's just like holding it almost to like his chin
if
at
the
first.
if the dad was like a deadbeat dad and was like after the show, like send the kid to his back to mom's and never talks to the kid again, or doesn't really hang out with the kid, that's a different story, right? But if the money was used like, hey dude, we're going to like Disney, or we're gonna go set up your college fund, if the money was used for something for the family, I'm all right with it. man.
That is different. Yeah, people have brought that up. People have brought that up. And
So
that is a
I'm not gonna beat up the dad too much, man. It's not. I don't know if it's. Yeah, again, at face value, we live in a society that we're always constantly looking to get offended without really knowing the story.
hmm I was
I'm
just
not.
about to say that, you know what I mean? We're always going to pick, say like, oh, this is what happened. We're either going to call fair or foul, and then we're going to put in our 2 cents in. But when you look at it, I don't, we don't know the full details of the story. I don't know. Maybe there was somebody in the family who seriously needed the money, or I don't know,
Yeah, yeah.
maybe something
It
like
probably
that.
wasn't even his kid. It's like he talked to his sister, like, "Hey, let me borrow."
Now, if you see him running around in the alley,
Let me borrow my nephew for the night, and I got him tickets to the game. Hey,
and now that guy is calling up the Spurs all of a sudden saying, how much to kicking with Wemby? Like we were just, that's different. Like what, bro? Are you serious? Yeah. But
yeah,
hey, before we continue, before we start wrapping it up, actually, Anthony touched on a little bit on the Yankees. Y'all can see I like the Padres when it comes to the NBA. Anthony's obviously a Knicks fan. I'm a Spurs fan. But yeah, if you ever want us to chime in about a certain team or a certain player that that y'all that y'all follow, just go ahead and leave them down in the comments below section or something, or make sure you hit up Anthony's. That's at Giant Dad 21. Right. If you're not already following me, it's going to be at Jacob Eric C. All right. And then we'll answer or we'll get to you as quick as we can.
yeah, yeah. I can't. I'm not gonna say that I know what everybody's doing and where they're at and where they're at in their career or what they're doing, but I will say if you ask me a question, I love looking up you know information on somebody just to see um, finding out. Oh, so I see now why this guy's interested, or I just um, I don't mind helping people out or getting information for folks. So
Yeah.
if there's a certain thing, or even if you have information for me or Jacob, just hit
Yeah.
us up and
Like,
say,
hey, check this guy out or
yeah,
whatever, this and that. We would do that to each other actually
yeah,
when
yeah.
we see somebody. We're like, hey, check this guy out. But
Hmm.
hey, thank you all for spending y'all's Wednesday evening with us. Once again, he is Anthony Turk. I am Jacob Eric, and we're going to go ahead and wrap up um, this episode of Grading the Market. See y'all again next time, guys.
All right, guys.